Welcome to the PPVG Gamescast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
And we are the passionate playing video gamers. And this is our special E3 reactions episode. We will give you our reactions to each of the press conferences that happened for the last 4 days for E3, starting with the first press conference of EA opened up E3 on Saturday afternoon. And we'll start with you, Mo. What were and we'll go in detail of what we saw, just the overall impressions of the EA press conference.
Okay. For EA, I felt like they did right with the sports section. I'll give them that credit. I felt like it was going. They didn't have like those sports. Like some type of sports star come on.
I was actually thinking of you when that happened. I thought they were going to have Tom Brady out there at the beginning when they actually, because everyone had a Tom Brady jersey on. I'm like, oh shit, Mo's going to be pissed, but they didn't. I was thinking of you. You called that.
It would have been like prolonged, and it would have been an awkward conversation. Just let's get to the game. Let's show it. It's cool that they brought up the drum line just to, get that going for the cheerleading squad or whatever. It would have been funny if they brought a cheerleading squad.
It's another way for them to spend money.
Right. So
don't pay your developers, but make sure you got a drum line.
Yeah.
For a conference that
send extra money for Montreal.
Exactly.
Montreal. They needed some more funding. No.
But
the facial animation on the drum line was amazing. Although that one guy had the bass drum, his head kept doing this. It was awkward, but glitches are to be expected. It was a last minute booking. So.
I found
they'll have a patch for it.
I found that to be a little better. I prefer that, where they just like, okay, let's get to this game. This is where you show Madden. Yeah. Now I don't know how they're going with Madden. I'm not a big sports game player. Like I'm not into it, but it looked interesting. I don't know what direction they're going with. I don't know if they're going into college, because all I saw was college teams, and then going into the NFL. Because I didn't hear the explanation on that game, so I don't know how Madden is going to come out to be. But.
Before we get into the specifics, what about the overall impression of the con? Just overall, before we get into specifics.
The sports section was good. I thought it was lazy towards the end. It was just lazy.
They just put a 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 20 to 30 minute multiplayer battle. Okay, cool.
It was badly orchestrated.
It was badly orchestrated, but I know that they had live players that they got from YouTube that are.
I don't need to see it live. How about you have the development team go through it and they show me some cool stuff, and maybe I'll find Easter eggs. But they've already kind of gone, okay, minute 3, here's what we're going to focus on. Yeah. And you get that footage as opposed to, but it's live. I don't give a fuck. I want what's impressive. That's what I want to see.
I would have preferred to see a montage of all the good stuff that actually happened. Like, if you put a montage of all the stuff that you can do and the cool stuff, that's what I would have preferred.
And Rich, what was your impression of the EA press conference? Overall impression?
Lazy.
Lazy?
Lazy.
I
don't understand what they're going for. Again, the cynic in me tells me, like, the sports focus. I did like that they didn't have guest star kind of stuff, but I don't think they're getting their message across, because I think that they're doing too many things. Like, the reason I think they're doing the storyline stuff and all the sports titles is to give that mocap facial animation team something to justify that purchase. Andromeda already showed that was a mistake. So instead of putting them on 15 different projects, because let's be honest, the Madden players, they don't really give a fuck about a storyline. They just want stats. It's fantasy football. No. They don't care about the making of the player kind of stuff. Especially if it's going to be a new one. If it's Tom Brady's career, I'm sure there's a niche audience that'll go for that, or whatever player you want to pick. But when it's a fictional character, that's not the same one. Us that do the role-playing stuff, it works for us. For them, it was busy work for that team. I think that that's a mistake, and I think that the entire conference, not just EA, but this year, I think that's what it was, is they're getting bloated like Hollywood. That they're throwing too much stuff behind all the bells and whistles, and they're forgetting basic gameplay, which is why we get so excited for stuff like new graphics for Shadow of the Colossus Remastered. Because the game was engineered well, now it's just a new coat of polish on it. Where's the new game that's taking that kind of role? You don't have that kind of forward thinking.
It took 8 years to make The Last Guardian.
It did. And that's nobody's fault but the director and the.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Yeah. They're playing it safe, and they figure if I hire a bunch of actors to do mocap and I put that in there, and I've got an Oscar award-winning, musical team behind it, and they're doing the soundtrack and all that kind of stuff, that all of a sudden the 50 million copies I was selling is going to be 65. You're already overblown. Can you just give us the game? Stop with this other stuff.
And EA, if you need any YouTube creators, we have 3 right here that will actually introduce a game next year, EA E3 2018. Our dates are open. We are available. I'm sure we would do a lot better fucking job than what happened in Need for Speed.
Oh, that's terrible.
And we are available. We will announce any game you'd like.
I stutter a lot cheaper.
I
My
won't-
day rate's a lot lower.
I won't
than
freeze.
these
I'll
guys,
tell you that much. I'm gonna be like, I'm in the game. Yes. It was so weird that they introduced that. I was,
You know what I like most about this? Jesus, it's just so ham-fisted. Nobody talks like that. That's why everybody they hate the movie dialogue when the character goes, "Oh, you mean the mayor?" Nobody would say that in real life. That's an exposition dump. That's what they do in all these marketing
well,
conferences.
that's how I
fake.
felt like they did for Payback, but
Yes.
For which?
for it's Payback for Need for Speed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that.
I just lazy. I felt it was safe. There wasn't really any chances. Just stuck with Battlefront 2. Let's do multiplayer. Just have them play for. It was a long fucking match.
It was a long
'Cause they want to
match.
show all 3 phases of outside, then inside. It was too long.
They should have showed Phase 1 and then showed single player. Single player had to be something that was gonna, I felt was strongly needed, especially after not seeing it the last Battlefront game. And I felt like they could have showed Phase 1, and then as E3 progressed through the the actual show and the showcasing and everything, they could have showed the rest of the phases. And then if you were interested in that, go look it up. Cool, but don't.
Well, yeah, that's
too
the
long.
that's the
Too
biggest
long.
question with that thing is we already know what multiplayer looks like for Battlefront, and we've seen some of the cutscene kind of stuff for the single player experience. What's the game going to play like? Because you guys know how it's all about respawn points and stuff like that. When I'm trying to be Iden Verso, how does that work? Because she shouldn't be able to respawn. So how does that play as single player in a multiplayer game?
Go to IGN.com though. They'll give you your little previews.
No, they'll
What
have a
the-
bunch of fans outside the arena that aren't experts any more than we are that are all sitting there and just, it was amazing! Xbox wins the day! No, shut up.
All right. So what stood out to you the most? EA press conference. What stood out?
The probably the funniest thing I'm going to say is out of the Battlefront multiplayer gameplay, I saw. Actually, I'm not even going to say that. The Battlefield 1, the DLC release. That's what stood out to me the most.
That's what I was waiting for.
Like
Battlefield 1.
6 maps, and they already just showcased the first map. Okay, that's a big expansion. 6 maps, the new guns. You get a whole new the Russian army with the female scouts now. Holy shit! I'm excited. So in the name of the Tsar, I'm actually pretty excited for that expansion. That's what excited me the most. I already have the gold edition of Battlefield 1, and they just recently announced, this was announced probably a month ago, that if you were to purchase and you were to come in, or you had just the game, the original copy for $60, and I have all the map packs, as long as we're in the same squad, you guys will be able to play. So even though you don't have the DLC purchase, if you jump on my squad and I invite you and I'm a squad leader, then you get to play everything I get to play.
You're a great squad leader. You look out after me.
I try to. I play medic, by the way, so that's my job.
And it releases September.
Yeah, so it's
September.
a big DLC. 6 maps is just massive. New guns, new skin mods for the guns. New we got the Russians. We got them in. So I mean that's already massive. They're already including another force that you can be to fight in that war.
Is there any chance there's a submarine that you can't blow up but can't kill you either, and you just get stuck for 30 minutes and can't finish the level?
That would be funny.
Inside joke.
That would be funny. But I'm excited to see what the big mammoth is, because in every stage there's a huge mammoth, either tank, submarine, battleship, huge airplane, or the Zeppelin that you get to control. So I want to see what they're going to incorporate now for the new mammoth
That's
vehicle.
Why I said submarine.
Yeah, I mean
I
that would be
realize
awesome.
impression.
It would be cool, if they were to release something like that and to man a submarine underneath. That would be pretty awesome. I wouldn't doubt it. I would love that shit. But that's what excited me the most out of all, and it's a fucking DLC. But that's me. So.
And Rich, what stood out to you? The EA conference.
The Anthem teaser. I think that was seeing
That stand out in a positive way or a negative way?
Well, there wasn't a lot of information in the EA one. Xbox, there's still a lot of from that conference.
Because from the text I got from you, you didn't seem too thrilled about that.
It's
teaser.
got potential, but
about the teaser though, which I was talking.
Yeah,
what we saw at EA
bad.
without
Bad.
Xbox, what we just saw at EA before we saw anything about Anthem. You two didn't seem, or it was you. You said you were disappointed in BioWare of that teaser.
They didn't address anything with Mass Effect's problems. They didn't announce anything about Dragon Age, and you gave me a teaser that was go to a developer or a console manufacturer's conference, but we're not exclusive to them. So I didn't get the point of what they were doing.
Yeah, that was a bit confusing to me too. I was like, okay, so I have to go watch Xbox now.
I would have saved your announcement for Xbox. Don't even tease in the EA
Yeah,
thing.
well, you should have just kept it under wraps then. It would have made a lot more sense than just showing something. Oh, go see this. It's like clickbait. You know, it's like you're on the internet. All of a sudden, you're like, okay.
It was. We were watching EA.
Click on this, and then
we never
takes you to another
guessed
website.
what would happen next.
And then you have a virus.
Although I got some pills that'll make my penis look extremely huge, apparently.
Clickbait.
I can second that. It works. It works. What stood out to me was A Way Out. Early 2018, the
yes.
co-op
Yeah, that was interesting.
game with that
That's
prison. You have to break out of prison. Looks like you're in the woods to get out. It was the developers from Brothers.
Yeah,
were the creators from Brothers.
Yeah, Brothers. Yeah, and that was an indie game. It had a really good storyline. It was storyline based. This one seems like action, adventure, 2-player co-op, the whole thing. That was amazing.
Required co-op.
Yeah, required. Yeah, required.
You can't go solo.
Couch co-op and online. So that's pretty intense. And the way that they split the screen, how he was showing certain segments, you'll have to coordinate with your friend and talk it out and stuff. That's pretty cool.
It looked awesome.
I just don't want another Kane and Lynch.
It didn't look anything like Kane and Lynch to me.
Was that similar?
It was supposed to be co-op, but you could play it by yourself. But it was one of those, they were going for the artsy, but they didn't know what they were doing. It was like a dumbed down artsy. They thought atmosphere would make up for bad mechanics in the game.
I played both, and it was just the first one was heading in an okay direction, but I didn't.
No, by the time you did the last two missions, it was dumb.
No,
just was really repetitive.
Yeah, the mechanics that they had, like one person's watching a split screen, but the other is actually in game, and you can actually assist. And I saw about a behind the scenes video of Hands On, where one of the players is actually being attacked by a cop, and is being choked out, and he can actually die if you don't watch and actually go save him on your screen. A Way Out comes out release date early 2018. Looking forward to that game, and that's gonna be a common theme. Early 2018, there's a lot of games, whatever the fuck early means.
Yeah.
Can we track how many of these actually make early 2018?
Yeah, I have them written down.
'Cause I want to see how many actually make 2018 at all.
That get the delay. So we talked about what stood out. Now, what was your biggest disappointment of the conference? We'll start with you, Rich. What was your biggest disappointment with the EA?
BioWare. Although, not having single-player Battlefront, that was a big problem too. Especially when you bring the main actress that's in the single-player. You have her there. You're not going to show any of her performance. What was the reason to bring her out? So, no, BioWare didn't address anything. And like I said before, that last question, you basically said, hey, I've got something for you. Come back tomorrow. I'll tell you what it is. I didn't like that. I'd rather you kept your mouth shut.
So what are you most disappointed, the BioWare or the Battlefront?
BioWare. Because BioWare is on the bad foot right now. We know they're working on Dragon Age because that's leaked. They didn't say anything about it. And to basically give us the logo for Anthem and that was it. Like, that's been Mo's whole conversation the last couple of weeks is why, if I'm a Sony guy, why do I have to watch the Microsoft press conference to see a game that I don't have to have an Xbox to play? I'm going to play it on the PS4. Why do I want to watch the Microsoft thing? Especially because you don't know where it's going to land in there. You have to sit through all these, as we've been mentioning, the awkward fucking speeches from YouTubers and shit like that, or stupid marketing people, or leads in the development team, and they're trying to sell you on the thing, and you just want to get gameplay of whatever's supposed to be the Destiny killer.
Right.
So
They wanted to show it off on the the most powerful console
But you
ever.
could do that in the EA press conference. I would say that that's where you should be.
Right.
Which it wasn't announced yet. So they were stuck in the middle. Where they couldn't. Well, they
They were
could have
stuck
said
at the
Scorpio.
beginning.
But-
so-
They could have said Scorpio. They
But
didn't
wait
have
a
to say
second.
that.
Wasn't
Yes.
Microsoft the first one who said we're going to do Sunday as opposed to the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday lineup that they usually do for these conferences? And then everybody started doing the, well, we're going to do Saturday then.
Yeah,
Well,
there's-
EA
that
was
kind of
actually
stuff?
first.
Okay, EA
went
was
Saturday.
okay. My bad then.
Yeah, EA went Saturday, which Microsoft will then.
But again,
We could've-
it's not like EA didn't know that Microsoft sometime that week, whether it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday,
They were
were
talking.
going to announce it. It's not like, oh, you guys weren't going to say it on Friday? Shit, I should have known that before I wrote all these speeches for the last 3 months. No, they knew. Let's coordinate things a little bit better.
And Mel, what was your biggest disappointment?
It
with
was
EA?
Battlefront single player. It needed to be shown. If you have a problem, they even initiated it when they were talking about Battlefront 2 at the beginning when they were saying, oh, when the guy that plays Finn in Star Wars, what is his name? Boyega is his last name?
John Boyega,
Yeah,
yeah.
John Boyega. He was there and he put that tweet, and then all the tweets that were like, where's Battlefront? You know,
Single
the
player.
single player. And then you don't fucking show it! What the fuck? What the fuck? That's
Oh, they couldn't find a YouTuber that knew how to play it yet. They didn't ever have single player on there, so,
So-
they didn't know how to do it without spoiling the game.
so,
So,
you, then the whole
hands are tied.
Yes, so that is interesting that they did talk about Finn coming out. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
single player, and they have Rich said they have the single player actress who's actually there, but they.
But the homegirl comes out and she's like, we got single player. Oh, but you know what? We're going to go over here and just watch 3 phases of the actual multiplayer. Because, you know, nobody cares about the single player anymore. So, well,
Why they spend so much money on it, and why was everybody disappointed last year?
like, they could have done a simple thing and just did like a whole little trailer showing some of the actual story. And you don't have to show the whole thing just like a Star Wars.
But I
film.
needed to see the clones attacking Theed, because that didn't happen in the movie, but it was interesting.
something. You need to show something, and they didn't show nothing. They just showed people bitching about not having the single player, which was a pretty big concept. I mean, I
everybody
agree with
talk.
you. Yeah, and then
I think it's a statement about where that game is. There is no single player to show. There'll be something, but it's not going to be what we want.
so
That is my biggest fear, and that's my disappointment as well as a single player for Battlefront. That's what I really want to see. And
I'm worried it's going to be the VR experience. It's going to be a very good 20 minutes, but it's only 20 minutes. Like, wow, Inferno Squad, that was a good half hour of my life. Now what happens?
I have confidence based off like the hands-on impressions that I have read, and to get a 30-year gap of story,
yeah.
I don't think that it's all the way complete or it's what they want it to be. I know they played like the hands-on impressions is great, but I don't think they have it all completed and down pat for it to be playable.
It was mostly multiplayer focused, so I mean that's not a bad thing either. But I mean, show people what they were expecting, like they at least a little bit. You don't have to show the whole damn thing. I'm just saying you don't even have to show a mission. Just show.
We
like,
literally have not
something.
seen any gameplay footage
Something.
of the single
You
player.
have to show something.
We've only seen CG cutscenes.
So yeah, exactly. So, but
The one thing that they did push, as in there's no season pass, all the map packs are going to be free, but microtransactions. That's how they're going to get their money. The microtransactions. They're going to have 3 times the content, which isn't fucking saying much because you had shit for content in the original release.
no.
So, we have 3 times more. That doesn't mean anything.
No, you get all those virtual diorama pieces. Be awesome.
So, single player Battlefront.
Now I can have a TIE Advanced in there.
And
not just a TIE
I was
Fighter.
going to give it leeway, and I was giving it leeway as Rich and Mo was like, where's the single player? I'm like, wait until Sony, because they have that marketing deal. Wait until Sony, and I was wrong. Another disappointment I think we all agree on is those YouTube creators. They had 2 of them. The Need for Speed was uncomfortable
Yeah.
on everyone's side.
Yeah. He was freezing. He was just I don't know what
It
he was
wasn't
doing.
even close. Right when he came up on screen for the Need for Speed, he froze for about a minute and a half. And once the other guy came on, took control, and then he was fine. And then the same thing for NBA Live. And we'll talk about this again in another press conference I did this. Well, they went in the back outside NBA Live 18 where there's a fucking glare on the screen. And YouTube creator was fine.
Yeah.
It's just put
can't see anything.
You can't see anything. It puts him in an awkward situation trying to describe the game, and you can't see. Oh, you hit the left and right joystick to dribble, but you can't see shit.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with what their day jobs are. They're trying to promote a genuine experience, but these are not. They're scripted. The whole thing is scripted, or it's laid out, and they're not hitting the hallmarks. Like I was complaining about the multiplayer for Battlefront. They had too many times where they cut away to a guy that was flying the droid ship, and he's going up, and you're seeing clouds. I want to see the city. I want to see you shooting, army units. I don't want to see you trying to do a loop-de-loop because you're just given free reign. They didn't tell him where to go, and it doesn't need to be live. I don't care that it's live. I wanted to see the footage. When I watch the trailers, I don't go, oh, that would be better if it was live. I just want to be wowed. Just give me the actual entertainment value. So it has nothing to do with them.
I have a big problem with the Need for Speed guy.
Yeah.
I have a big fucking problem with the Need
is?
for Speed guy.
Just because it was so awkward?
Fucking so on one end, on his end, not preparing or just fucking freezing, and then the EA is throwing this guy out there who obviously was not ready.
Yeah.
And you're promoting Need for Speed Payback, a big title of yours coming out this fall, and we are not talking about Need for Speed right now. We're talking about the guy who presented the game.
Yeah.
What does that tell
Open it
you?
up.
That's why for the last few weeks I've been saying it's being built up too much. That's why we shouldn't focus on this, because maybe they give away too much when the IGN has their focus for the month, IGN first, or we get these other things on Polygon or Kotaku or whatever, or just a regular trailer release. That, I think, is a better way to speak to your audience than these stupid conventions. This used to be to get the stores interested in buying this stuff, and now we all live and die by it, but it doesn't mean anything because it's not well done. They're trying to wow us, but there's so much anticipation, we end up being deflated when they don't hit us with everything, or when they do, they can't live up to expectations because it's all phony and fake and scripted, or they put out dates that are either vague or they're specific, and then they never meet the hallmarks. Wasn't that the big thing with Mass Effect, is 3 major delays? Because they kept saying, we're going to hit this.
Red Dead Redemption. But with that being said, EA, if you need 3 presenters, the Passionate Playing Video Games will be available for E3 2018 to present.
Only with Aisha Tyler, though.
So we're going to the Ubisoft press conference, is what you're saying.
Apparently she was not considered this year, or maybe she had other things to do, but...
She went soft.
Wow.
Her wood was not hard enough
Ladywood.
anymore. We love you.
I love you.
Well, those are our reactions to the EA press conference. Please let us know in the comments below what you felt about the press conference.